Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. The time for talk is over as we are just mere moments away from the Super Bowl. Two teams now have a chance to prove they are the best. It's the Broncos. Have the Super Bowl call. Here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, first opened in 2006. Here's a look inside University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. They'll come out throwing. And right away, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So after nearly turning it over, new life here for the offense on second down. Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on third down. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. The one running back is Gurley. They go play action here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be taken down deep into Bronco territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards. Red zone opportunity. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. Second down, this is Gurley. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And they're going to face a third down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working on smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
Play clock winding down. They'll look to throw. That's caught at the 3. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Todd Gurley taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
Check, Patriot, Leopard.
They come out here in the eye. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Linval Joseph is in a hurry to get his name mentioned as one of the top defensive tackles in the game. I think he's accomplishing his goal.
Now back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Back to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. So here's 3rd and 20 with a long yardage. Defense going with a nickel look. They'll drop to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. A good pickup there, a 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And on the ground they go with a running back. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prep for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
It's brought in by Kevin White. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
He'll look to throw. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And it's a fumble. It's picked. And now off to the races down the right side. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those. Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Deep drop. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Play clock's running down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
3rd and short. They'll try and pick it up through the air. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. Third down and 1.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38. Check, go get him, go get him, go get him. Ohio.
They're going to look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Looking to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A long drive here. Play 12 coming up for the offense. So now it's 1st and goal. They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Todd Gurley as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Second down following the incompletion. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to go up top again. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in Super Bowl 55. As we send you on to Orlando, we hook back up with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Perry in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Now a handoff for Gurley. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. A good positive play there, 9 yards, but still 3rd and long.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. Play clock winding down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep. It got his man. Complete. Kevin White. Touchdown. Vikings. Kevin White, 75 yards. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, is what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 3 yards remaining here on second down. They'll drop the throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Detroit!
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And some room to maneuver. And cuts out right sideline. And all the way down to the 9. A big gain there on 3rd and long. 44 yards. Trailing here in the 3rd, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. They'll run. Anderson fighting through. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. C.J. Anderson, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. On the toss, it's Gurley. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
The way he roared up and made that play, that tells me that he spent a lot of time in the film room analyzing what this offense does, and he saw something that convinced him he didn't have to worry about the pass. He could just go right now and make a play. I think if you're the offensive team, you better file that away a little bit. Maybe think about some play action down the road. You might catch him deep.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Still 9 yards to go on third down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
They'll set up a throw. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. He tried to get something going there with a little toss behind the line of scrimmage. Unsuccessful.
How about the athleticism of the coverage, though? Being able to dance with him coming out of the backfield. That's not easily done. But not only did he dance, took it, wheeled, and went the other way. Ended up with 6 points for his team.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends.
Let's go! Flag round! Flag round! Flag round! Flag round!
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. Second and 5. He'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And the wideout in motion. And the play clock's running down. They'll look to throw. He completes it right side to White. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Here we go. 38.
shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And now they're in the hurry-up. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's complete, right around the 8. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Todd Gurley with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And it is good. There were about 70,000 people about to turn blue from holding their breaths, but it's good, and this Super Bowl is tied. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone, and Denver getting set to take the field. Drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Time for a break. We're back to perhaps crown a champion after this.
Detroit!
They come out here in the eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he cuts it out to the sideline. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Second down and 4. Yeah, the defense definitely showing blitz here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. So just about a minute to go here, tie ball game.
As fans, we love free football. But the guys on the field don't. They're going to attack and go for the win right now.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And they'll run it here. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So it'll all come down to the booming right leg of Greg Zuerlein. And his kick is good. The field goal is through the uprights, and they've won the Super Bowl. And the Lombardi Trophy goes west, and it goes to the Denver Broncos, your Super Bowl champs. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.